welcome to this week's Friday Waffle. I hope you're all staying safe and doing okay. What's been happening this week? Obviously on the COVID front, England have decided to relax the self-isolation, the sort of lockdown part of the thing, and whereas every other part of the UK has decided not to. And as much as, excuse me, I've got a runny nose, dear me. And as much as, like everybody else, I'm getting fed up of being stuck in the house and, just not being able to see friends and family, I do tend to think that it's going to be a wee bit too early to go back. I mean, I've seen some of the pictures on the internet, and, people are just, because he's told people, right, we can kind of go back to semi-regularity or normality, I should say, people are just, it's almost like they've just forgotten what's actually going on. And the unfortunate thing is, it just takes a few people to spread the virus, and before we know it, we're going to be back to square one again. So I'm not sure that Westminster have made a good move. I always keep political thoughts to myself. I don't really believe in discussing politics. Some people seem to enjoy it. I tend to kind of stay out of it. But I do think they've maybe made a mistake with this. I think they should have kind of kept it going for another few weeks just to kind of see how things go. And if you're noticing something a wee bit different about me, yep, I have never actually worn this t-shirt before. So what's been happening now? I must be getting to that age, because before I started to record this, I had a number of things that I was going to kind of touch on, and when I actually came to hit the record button, I realised I couldn't actually remember any of them, so I've actually had to make a list. I've got a wee list in front of me down there with stuff, so I'm just going to read it straight off the bat. Asthma. Now, if you've been watching my channel for any length of time, especially if you've been watching it maybe since the early days, I started in 2013, I was a massive runner. I loved running, still do love running, I have to say, but massive runner. I would do big miles every week. I did some daft distances and races, but over the last probably 3 years, my running has virtually diminished to, and then within the last few months, 0. And it's been kind of twofold or threefold. One, part laziness. Two, the weather. I mean, the weather for probably the last 10 months, what it feels like, was just awful, absolutely awful. And thirdly, my health. I mean, if I didn't run, I would class myself as a fairly fit and healthy person. I certainly wouldn't class myself as an ill person, but the problem I've had over the last 3 years is I just get out of breath very quickly. Now, I would go out for a 10-mile run on a Tuesday night without even breaking a sweat, and now I can go out and, after 30 seconds, I'm just completely out of breath. Now, I'm thinking it is asthma, but what I've noticed even tonight, I was out walking the dogs, and even just walking the dogs, I feel it's like a kind of breathlessness from the very top of my chest. It's like a sort of, almost like a kind of tightness across the chest, but I just feel out of breath. So I'm convinced that is asthma. I have tried various inhalers and what have you over the years, and I'm one of these people, I'll stick with it for so long, and then it kind of gets better, then I think, I'll not bother taking it anymore, and then it's fine for maybe a few months, and then it kind of just goes back again. And it's really getting me down, because especially since the lockdown has started, I've not been to the gym for months. I'm not doing anything at all. So I decided, in fact, one of my mates, Ian Beattie, who just happens to be the chairman of Scottish Athletics, but anyway, he's one of my mates. I mean, he does a lot of ultra running. I was mentioning on Facebook, and he said to me, look, best thing to do, Alan, is don't worry about running, just get out for a walk, walk for half an hour every second day, run if you can, walk if you can't run. Do that, and then, you know, build it up and then try and run more than you walk and see where it goes. So this morning, the plan was, I start work at 8, the plan was to go out about 7:15 for half an hour. But I woke up at 6 o'clock in the morning, couldn't get back to sleep, and I thought, you know what, why don't I just get up and go out for my walk? So I was out at 6 o'clock this morning, went for half an hour walk, really, really nice. You know, it's lovely being outside at that time of night or that time in the morning, because you've got the place to yourself, and maybe in the moment you wouldn't really notice it because obviously the lockdown things are pretty quiet, but it's just nice. I've actually forgotten just what a nice part of the day is early morning. You know, it's a lot of people miss, you know, they lie in bed all the time, whereas, you know, early morning is a really, really nice part of the day. I am feeling it now. I'm feeling pretty tired. I mean, it's only probably 8:30 now. I'm feeling pretty tired, so that's probably down to the fact that, you know, I was up early. But yeah, I need to try and get this asthma thing taken care of. I mean, there's various tests which a few of my friends have said I need to ask for, because I'm determined to lose this double chin. I want to get fit. I want to lose a bit of weight, and I basically want to run. You know, because I used to do ultra running, which is anything up to, you know, from 30, anything over marathon distance. I mean, I've done 3 West Highland Way races, which are 95 miles in distance. So that's big miles, and I really, really miss it. And I'm at that stage in my life where I'm just thinking, should I lie down to being unhealthy and just accept that my running days are over? But my brain maybe tells me that's what I should do, but my heart tells me, no way, I know I've still got good running left in me. So until someday, a doctor or my body tells me you can't run, then I'm gonna give it a go. I really hope that I'm going to look back at this video in a year's time and think, well, you know what, I'm glad I listened to what I was saying, you know, and get fit and get out running again. So yeah, so that's my asthma part ticked off. RetroPie 4. I bought a RetroPie 4 when it first came out, probably about, I don't know, maybe, I would say probably maybe 10 months ago. It was a long time ago. And like most people, I bought it to put emulators on to play video games. And unfortunately, it's taken until literally the last couple of weeks for somebody to, or not somebody, but for the clever guys at RetroPie, which is basically it's a front-end oblique emulator suite that goes on your Raspberry Pi, and it basically turns it into an absolutely awesome emulator system. So I bought this Raspberry Pi 4, and I just had, because there was nothing I could really do with it, it sat in a drawer. But somebody they've now updated RetroPie for the Raspberry Pi 4, so I downloaded an image a couple of days ago, and I put it on, and I've got to say I'm blown away with the performance of this thing. I mean, I think the version of the Raspberry Pi was a kind of unofficial hack, whereas it's now being officially released, so I'm kind of running an unofficial one. But I've got to say, I'm super impressed with it. The only annoying thing was, when I was playing it on my big TV, I've got a 55-inch 4K TV even, I noticed that the movement was a bit kind of juddery and it wasn't smooth, and so I tried messing about with settings, etc. Then I did a Google, and it turns out some people were saying that the Raspberry Pi 4 doesn't work particularly well on 4K TVs. So I plugged it into my little portable, and it's as silky smooth as you could possibly hope. So yeah, I was kind of going round the bend trying to get this damn thing to work, and I discovered, you know, plug it into a wee TV. I think they probably will bring out, I mean, probably a new version of RetroPie will eventually kind of iron out the flaws, because it is still early days for it. But yeah, really, really, really nice. So I'm delighted with that. I mean, it's not, I wouldn't say it's massively different from the Raspberry Pi 3. I've got the Raspberry Pi 3B, I think it is, which is inside that arcade stick which I showed you that my mate Mike had made me. I wouldn't say there's a massive amount of difference, but you know, there's more games, there's some bigger arcade games that it supports that, you know, the Pi 3 simply couldn't support. But yeah, looking forward to kind of getting stuck into that. And talking about hardware, I saw Sony released, it's supposedly footage of a game running on the PlayStation 5. It's using the Unreal Engine, and I've got to say, I mean, it's just absolutely gorgeous. I mean, I've been one of these people who I've always thought, well, we've kind of got there. We're almost at the point now that we've got real graphics. So why would we, what's the next generation going to bring? And I think the generation gap from the PlayStation 3 to the PlayStation 4, I think it was just the very, very small refinements, the little details, the water effects, leaves, grass, all the little things that you don't really notice. These are the things that, when you look at a game now, it's mind-blowing just how good they look. And this demo of the PlayStation 5 running, I say it's the Unreal Engine, which I think most games use, and it's a girl, it kind of looks a bit like a Tomb Raider game. She's running through a cave, and the detail on the rock, you would think it was photorealistic. It is that good. But the only thing is, it's probably a tech demo. We've all seen these demos. I always remember years ago, before the N64, or it was called the Ultra 64, before it came out, there was a demo of all these thousands and thousands of little Marios running about, and I remember being blown away with that. And I don't think that ever actually came to anything. I mean, obviously we did get the N64, but I think you've always got to exercise a degree of caution when you see any sort of tech demo for a machine that's not actually been released, But I have a question that I've been asked a few times is, are you going to buy a PlayStation 5? And my answer has always been, don't really want one, but of course I'm going to buy it because that's what I do. I know my daughter's going to want she's going to want one, so yeah, I'm going to end up buying one. That would be stupid if I said I wasn't going to buy one. So yeah, quite looking forward to that. Does anybody actually know when the PlayStation 5 is due to get released? If you know, please put the comments down below. Just this mug, my girlfriend bought me this. She saw it for Christmas. Now I don't know if you can see that. I'm looking at this black. What does it say? Handsome, yep, check. Friendly, yep, check. What was that again? Fun. What does it say? Handsome, friendly, fun, loyal, energetic, companion, happy, hyperactive, lovable. I thought, companion. I thought, and then when I actually opened it up, it was a bloody dog mug. A dog mug for a Labrador. She claims she never knew it was for a dog. I'm not so sure. Talking in mugs, one of my mates, Steve, he posted a picture on Facebook of, well, it wasn't specifically about this, but it was about a drink that he was drinking, and he was drinking out of a Mainmeister mug. Now, about, I don't know how long ago it was, maybe 3-4 years ago, I asked, just for a laugh, would anybody be interested in a Mainmeister mug? Now, it had a picture of me. In fact, I can show you exactly, just give me a second. It was a picture of me that somebody had posted on Facebook, and I just thought, there you go. And then basically, it's that picture with me pointing, a bit like Alan Sugar, with a bollocks written across the bottom, although it did have kind of the asterisks, so it was kind of censored. And quite a few people wanted the mug. I think there was maybe about 20, so maybe not quite as many as that, maybe about, I don't know, 15, 16 people wanted the mug. Now, what I did was I sold it for cost price. I think we added an extra couple of pound on, but all the money that I got went to charity. It was a little children's hospice. But good fun, and the thing is, I never even kept the mug for myself. I'm trying to think who bought them. I know Brian, who's, I think he was my second ever subscriber. I know Brian bought one. In fact, him and his missus actually bought one each, which was fair play to them. Steve bought one, and there was a few other ones, but just for a laugh, if anybody would fancy a Mainmeister mug, let me know, and what I'll do is I'll get a price, and like I said, I will not be making any, I can absolutely promise you I will not make any money at all. Anything that, you know, what I'll maybe do, if it'll basically be cost price plus the price of postage, and maybe round it up to the nearest pound, whatever, something like that. So if you're interested in a Mainmeister mug, let me know, and I'll see what I can do. And like I said, all the money is going to go to charity. I might just give it to that, you know, the Captain Tom charity, whatever. We can worry about it, but let me know if you're interested in a mug. The only reason I mentioned it is because I'd completely forgotten all about it. And then I saw, you know, Steve had that picture of the mug, which I thought was quite funny. Now, I don't know if you watched the live stream that myself, Lacosa, and Panther UK put out. It was Tuesday, I think it was. And it was a Mainmeister and Chums talk pish, and you know, we did exactly what it says in the tin. We just talked about stuff. And that night, I had actually I downloaded this torrent file called Coin Ops. Now, I've heard of Coin Ops. I've got it on my Xbox, my original Xbox, and it's basically, again, it's kind of similar to the RetroPie. It's a suite of emulators, all these different systems, and all the games are already installed. You've got videos for every single game, screenshots, videos. It's just unbelievable. So I downloaded that for the PC, and it was about 142 gig, I think it was. And you know, it's insane to think that you're downloading that kind of, you know, that amount of data. You know, 10 years ago, you'd never have dreamt of downloading even 1 gig. Now you're downloading 142. My neighbours must love me, by the way, but no, what I do is I tend to download it at night time. So I downloaded this thing, and when you unrar it, I think it came to just, I think it was about 170 gig, which, you know, I thought was going to be more, to be fair. But I unrarred this, and I loaded it, and my goodness, considering my mind blowing, it's got Ollie MAME, it's got Mega Drive, it's got SNES, it's got Game Boy, it's got Colour Game Boy, it's got Game Boy Advance, I don't think it's got Master System, it's got NES, what else, it's got some PC games, it's got Doom, and it's got various other arcades sort of games. But what was really staggering for me is it's got a lot of PlayStation games which work fine. It's got a load of Dreamcast games. It's got GameCube games, and it's also got PlayStation 2 games. Now my PC is not modern. I mean, I reckon it's probably 10 years old. Yeah, it probably is. It's probably about 10 years old. Maybe just slightly less, maybe 9 or 10, something like that. It's not a fast computer at all. And when I went to try a PS2 game, I thought this is going to run like a dog. But I've got to say, I was absolutely blown away with just how well it ran. And being able to play like Mario Sunshine and, you know, all these PlayStation 2 games. I don't know how many of the games there are. There's maybe like 20 games on each of these big systems. But just fantastic. And having this one thing with all these games, you know, and it all controls either with an arcade stick or with the Mega Drive, not the Mega Drive, with the Xbox 360. So that is wicked. Really, really pleased. I am going to do a video. I don't know how it's going to record because it does do the full stream, but I'm going to attempt to kind of do a look at video and just let you see it, because it's something, you know, it's completely free. You know, and I'll try and kind of put links to it, you know, to let you kind of see it. So yeah, that is really, really wicked. And yeah, we're talking about emulation, and you know, a few people were saying how emulation is not as good as the real thing. I would say it's not as good as the real thing purely and simply from the sort of the full experience, but you can still play games just as well on a PC and enjoy it, you know what I mean? I cannot be arsed with people that you know, they're complete snobs when it comes to kind of gaming. Oh, unless it's on the real hardware, it doesn't count. My arse, it doesn't count. One little thing I was kind of going to mention it, then I thought, no, I'm not going to mention it, but I am going to mention it. I was watching a channel, and I'm not going to tell you who it is. You may watch this person's channel and you may know who it is. But this person, they're a very, very prolific YouTuber. And they were basically talking about how the COVID-19 has affected them. They're unable to work. And they're also saying that because of YouTube algorithms, whatever it was, the way they've changed, they were no longer making as much money. And they were basically asking, they were basically begging for money. And it turns out that this person went from about 60 odd Patreons after a couple of days. It had gone up to like 200. And I just, I don't know, I really, really don't like that aspect. And what annoys me is this person has got, from what I can gather, a very, very nice life. They've also got a really, really vast collection of hardware. And I did notice a few comments in the video saying, well, if you're that hard up, why don't you sell stuff? I really don't want people if I was doing this full time, I would never want you to feel sorry for me because, I can't, excuse me a second, I'm going to close these blinds. I wouldn't want somebody feeling sorry for me. That's annoying, mate. That's better. I wouldn't want somebody to feel sorry for me because poor Mainmeister can't do YouTube full time. I'm going to have to go and get another job. And yeah, this person was practically begging, and I hate that aspect of YouTube. I would never ever get Patreon because it just doesn't sit well with me. I understand that, people may enjoy your content, people may want to give something as a thank you, and I do understand that, which is fine, but to actually make a video where you're asking people to help you, I just think that's wrong. There's lots of people, if you think you're worse off, then you're in a bad way. There's lots and lots of people that don't have any homes over there. They live in shelters, they don't know where they're going to get their next hot meal from, and so when I see people who have got a nice life asking for money on YouTube, to support their channel, to support them, I just don't like it. I really, really don't like it. And that's the one aspect of YouTube that I don't like. Yeah, I know everybody's got their own feelings. And like I said, I don't have a problem. I mean, each to their own, but to kind of have a begging video, nah, not for me at all. Anyway, let me have a little drink of my dog mug. Right, questions. Right, first up from Down the Rabbit Hole, Kevin. For the Friday Waffle, hi Alan, what's your overall opinion of Capcom over the many years they've made games? I love Capcom, Kevin. I think they're probably, well, they are one of the best arcade developers. I mean, the games that they've written, they're phenomenal. I mean, you've got Commando, you've got 1942, you've got Ghosts and Goblins, you've got Black Tiger, I was going to say Green Beret, that was Konami. There are so many games. Obviously, you've got all the Street Fighter games, you've got Mercs. Not a fan of Street Fighter. I do completely admire the game. I think it's an astonishing game. I just can't play it for toffee. But yeah, I just think Capcom are... I mean, in fact, this is an interesting one. If I was to try and... in fact, you know what? No. Okay, I was going to do this as a... I thought I could do this as a video response to the community, but that doesn't matter. What is your favourite arcade company? That is quite a good question. I could possibly do that. I don't know. I might be interested to see what other people's opinions are. But there again, I don't get much in the way of support from any YouTube channels. Yeah, I've got my mate Lactobacillus Prime. I've got Lawn Boys Post. I've got Down the Rabbit Hole. I've got Wee Bob. You know, there are a few people, my friends, that support, you know, will kind of chip in and help my channel. I've got Lacosa as well, obviously. But the rest of the community, I don't really get involved in at all. You know, and that's why I kind of have a sly grin at myself when people talk about the community and helping each other. Well, I don't think nobody's ever really helped me apart from my friends that I've already mentioned. Where am I going with this? I can't remember where I was going to go with this. Yeah, so for me to put a question to the community, I think it's a bit of a waste of time because nobody's going to respond to it. But any of my YouTuber friends that are watching this, and obviously the guys, my mates that do watch this but don't have channels, what is your favourite arcade company? I'm trying to think. I mean, Robotron is Williams. I love Defender, that's Williams. Berserk is Stern. What else? 1942 Capcom. I think it would probably have to be Capcom actually, Kevin. I think they're, you know, the graphics, their ability to, you know, the graphics in their games are always stunning. The sound is always amazing. Yeah, I just think 100% Capcom. But what everybody else? What is your favourite arcade company and why? I mean, there's Atari as well. There's Taito. There's Atari. There's Midway. There's so many companies. So many iconic companies. But great question, Kev. Secondly, I am currently enduring an eBay hassle with a lot of back and forth between myself and a seller. Do you have any eBay nightmares you can share? I've only got two, and I wouldn't say the first one was a nightmare. I sold what I thought, even now I would say it was, I sold what I thought was a mint condition SNES. And I sold it, and I think it went for 70 quid. It was boxed in complete, it had all the bits and pieces, everything was there. And then the guy came back to me and he said that I had missold it. It wasn't arcade perfect. It wasn't mint condition. It was yellowed. And to this day, I would deny that was the case. And I ended up just saying to the guy, look, I'll give you 20 quid back. And he was quite happy. So I don't know whether he was just basically being a twat, trying to get money off me. But that was quite annoying. But the one that I had the most hassle recently, and it was maybe about 3-4 months ago, thanks to Lactobacillus Prime. He bought himself a hi-fi, a separates, you know, the CD player, phono, like, you know, record player, cassette tape. So I decided I fancy getting myself one. Now, I'm one of these spontaneous buggers. I will, if I want something, I'll just go out and get it. I don't want to wait, you know. It's the same if I want to buy a pair of shoes. The first shop I go into, see a pair I like, I buy them, I go. Not interested in looking about. So I went on eBay and I saw this system. It was 150 quid and I thought, oh, I'll have that. So I bought it, and when was it? It was maybe about 20 minutes later, maybe half an hour later. Obviously, as you know, Google, your phone, whatever, I mean, the number of times that I've been talking to a mate about something and then next minute you start getting pop-ups, you get emails about it, it's obviously listening to what you're saying. I got emails from Gumtree, and this guy was selling an equal system for, was it 50 quid? And I thought, I don't believe it, I've just paid 150 quid for this thing. And I could get the same one for 50 quid, and it was literally, you know, 20 minutes away from the house. So I contacted the seller and I explained the situation. Well, I told a wee white lie. I says, look, I'm really sorry, I've just bought and paid for this hi-fi. However, I was buying it for my son and he wants separates, whereas I noticed that the CD player and whatever were kind of joined together. I says, I'm really sorry, I says, but could you cancel the auction and give me my money back? So she got back in touch after about half an hour and says, yeah, no problem, I'll refund you. So I waited about a week, nothing. Contacted her, nothing. And then I left it 3 or 4 days and I went into PayPal, and then it said that the money that she'd sent over had been rejected. So I contacted her again, and there was like a 3-4 day delay in her getting back to me. Eventually she got back to me, and I says, look, you've tried to refund this money and it's been rejected. Can you please do it right away? You know, this is now sort of a week and a half, 2 weeks. So she said she was going to do that. Waited 3 or 4 days, nothing. Waited a couple of days, back onto PayPal, and again it had been rejected. So I contacted her again, and she said, I've done a Google, and apparently it's because your bank details are incorrect. And she said, oh yeah, that account doesn't have any money in it, and I'm trying to get it fixed. And I says, well look, can I just give you my what do you call it, my bank details or my PayPal account, and you can just do like a transfer directly into it. And then she said, no, I can't do that because we've got to go through eBay. So I left it another 3 or 4 days and nothing came of it. So that would be probably 3 weeks that she'd had my money. So I contacted eBay, and you know what, 2 days later money was back in my bank. So that was annoying. I didn't like to have to do that, but this person was obviously not interested in giving me the money, you know. Although it was my fault initially for buying something and then backing out, but I did back out very, very quickly, you know, within about half an hour. And the bottom line was she had my money and she was just holding on to it. So that's about the only one I've really had, Kevin. I did, what was it? I did buy a game. In fact, you know what it was? It was Lilac Wars on the N64. That wasn't yesterday. I bought it and I never ever got it, and the guy never responded to me. And then I think later on, I noticed in his feedback there was a lot of people saying that the guy was just a complete scammer. But in the main, I've been fairly lucky. I hope you get your things sorted out, buddy. And finally, what video game company logo is your favourite without being influenced by the actual games they make? Easy, it's got to be Atari. Although I'm a C64 man, it's got to be Atari. Atari to me is a synonymous with games. I think that's probably pretty much the same with everybody. I mean, there's kids walking about with t-shirts with the Atari logo on it. They've got no idea what that means. But to me, Atari stands for the early days of video games, Asteroids, Missile Command. You know, when they were in, was it Sunningvale, California? You know, they practically single-handedly invented the video game industry. So definitely, it's got to be Atari. So anyway, listen, Kev, thanks for your question, mate. Excuse me, Ox. We need more live streams. Yeah, I was talking last week about, are you guys getting bored of live streams? Because I've been doing a lot of them, and I don't want people to start getting fed up, because I think, you know, I didn't do them that often, and it was always a treat for me to do them. And I've got to say, even now, even if I did a live stream every night, which I'm not going to do, obviously, it's a treat. I love doing live streams so much. They're great fun, but I don't want them to turn into something where people think, oh, here we go again, there's Mainmeister streaming. Yeah, so I was basically asking, do you want more streams? And Ox is saying we need more live streams, especially with this lockdown. Yeah, I understand that, Neil. I'm up for doing one. Well, listen, Neil, I'll get in touch and we can get you on a stream, definitely. Retro Beast Games, I have enjoyed the Sid Chip tune streams. Dave was proper pissed off. I think that he was set up. Keep up the amazing content. Thank you very, very much, Retro Beast. That's really, really kind, and it's quite funny. I'm just going to show you. There's the question, and who have I got a message from? There he is, Mr. Perry. I don't know what he's wanting. He's a bloody nuisance. I'm only kidding, Dave. Yeah, Ian Cullen. Keep going with the high score kerfuffle. It gives me a reason to play games I wouldn't normally play. Maybe make it every 2 weeks though, to give people more of a chance to play. Yeah, I was talking about the high score kerfuffle, and it annoys me slightly because my mate Andy did ask me, could you do a high score challenge? And he's only done it for 2 weeks and then he's not played it since. And I mean, he was the reason I set it up, so it's a wee bit annoying. Andy, if you're watching this, I don't think you watch my channel, but it is a wee bit annoying because you did ask me to set it up and I've done it, and now you're not even taking part in it. But so I was asking, do people want me to keep doing it? But I think I will. I'm going to run it for 2 weeks because I think a week's not enough. I mean, for example, last week or this week, I should say, it was what's the name of the game? Tiger Heli, and yeah, I didn't even have a chance to play it. So I'm going to do it for 2 weeks. But yeah, it'd be nice for more people to take part. Alex, Refraction PCSX2, keep up the live streams, matey, they're great, even if I do miss them half the time. Good stuff. And down the rabbit hole again, thank you for the shout out, Alan, much appreciated, sir. My vote would be to keep the high score kerfuffle going, even though not many people are playing it. People come and go from events like that. As to live streams, I confess I'm not usually attending, as I'm 8 hours behind you, and watching them after the fact is less interesting to watch. Just my 2 cents worth. No, listen, Kev, I totally understand that. Mr. Ian Hunter, absolutely continue the live streams, either by yourself or with guests. Very enjoyable. Thank you, Ian. I hope you're doing well, buddy. And then I've got London Retro Video Games. It's Lewis. I love the live streams. Definitely not too many. Love the high score challenge too, and have something to aim for means I play one game way more than I would do otherwise. Beating my own score is one thing, but beating random people on the internet is way better. This is Lewis, by the way. Yep, I know who you are now, Lewis. Listen, thank you very much. I think all these comments I've read, it's quite clear you do enjoy the live streams, so I'm going to continue doing them. So I think I can probably say here and now, Sunday nights are usually when I will definitely do a live stream. Normally 7 o'clock, 7:30. So unless something was to happen, I will be doing a live stream every Sunday night. But I will always put up my Facebook. If you are on Facebook, best thing to do is type in Mainmeister, and if you like the channel thing, then you'll see when I make a post. So yeah. Colin Jones, if I see a Mainmeister live stream notification, I stop what I'm doing to watch. Oh, God bless. Hopefully not everything, Colin, if you know what I mean. The collaborations are good too. I really like the high score kerfuffle. It gives me the opportunity and incentive to do my own regular live stream. So my selfish opinion is keep them going, definitely. Lockdown not giving me much extra spare time, but it's still getting tiring. The mad thing is that people who are breaking the guidelines are not only the reason we have lockdown in the first place, but also why it keeps getting extended. If everyone actually could follow advice for a change, it would be over more quickly. The Amiga PSU worked perfectly, of course, and likely the same as your C64 one. Question for the next waffle: what are your top 5 arcade games emulated by MAME? Not console, not home computers, but games that you used to have to feed money to play. This is probably one of the most common ones, without putting them in any order. Track and Field, Rolling Thunder, Robotron, 1942, and Berserk. Yeah. And then Galaxian as well. Yeah, Galaxian's in there as well. Yeah, that's 6. Definitely. ZX Renew, keep up the live streams, sir. Thank you very much. Batman, I enjoy the live streams. Lacosa makes me piss myself. That chap has more wit in the tip of his cigarette than most of today's so-called comedians have in their entire career CV. I'm sure Chris will be delighted to hear that. Dave is also enjoyable to listen to as well. The chemistry is spot on. In fact, do you mean Panther UK possibly, or are you talking about Dave, the games animal? I think you're actually talking about Panther UK. He's called Chris as well. If I ever had the balls to have a go at a live stream, that would be great, but I'm not sure I would. Well, if you ever get a change of heart back, by all means come on to my channel. Even if you prefer, it doesn't have to be a live one, we can record it, so there's not the kind of pressure of being out live, because I know it's not something that everybody's kind of 100% comfortable with. As for live, excuse me so I can read all that. Oh, bugger. Hang on. Where are we? Batman. As for live or recorded content, it's your channel to do with as you see fit. If others... Whoops! That was the maximum video file size exceeded on the iPad, hence the blip there. What was Batman saying? Yeah, if others, sorry, as for live or recorded content, it's your channel to do with as you see fit. If others enjoy the output, so much the better. Clearly, most people love it. I do love the format of the Friday Waffle, as it's just you chewing the fat. It's a nice catch up and somewhat of a ritual in this house. You know what, I'm always amazed when people say that there are some people who kind of, it's become a bit of a kind of a routine in their life. They watch the Friday Waffle, on the Saturday morning. I mean, I have been doing Friday Waffles now since 2013, so it's pretty insane. So I do understand why people kind of, if something, it was like Steve Benway's, the Friday Talkie. I used to love, when Friday came along, part of that was sitting in the bath with my phone, being very careful not to drop it, and listening to the Friday Talkie. And people have sort of kind of said that the Friday Waffle has kind of taken that mantle over. So yeah, that's always good. Yep, you caught me in the hop this week by actually having it on a Friday. As for a topic, I'm going through an Atari ST nostalgia trip amongst other things, and picked up a batch of ST format magazines to flick through off eBay. It's not like we don't have the time to read at the moment. I had also ordered some scans of the complete set to read on my tablet. I like reading the scans, but there is something about the actual physical magazine that still appeals to me, even in the digital age. What is your preferences? Also, what do you think is the best book written about gaming? Yeah, I do. I mean, I bought this iPad specifically to read magazines on, because it's practically A4 size, so it's like a full size magazine. And I've got absolutely hundreds and hundreds and hundreds of magazines on PDF. But I also have, and I'm not kidding, I'm trying to think. Oh, I don't know. I've got 2 piles of magazines. Each pile is about 4.5 feet high. Times 2, plus I've got other magazines. I must have, I don't know, I must have several thousand magazines. And I keep meaning to throw them out, and then I keep looking at them and thinking, oh, I'm going to want to read them. I mean, I've got so many. I've got Zaps, I've got Amiga magazines, I've got old PC magazines, I've got all the Retro Gamer, which, to be fair, I'm bored rigid with Retro Gamer. Though I've got to say, there's a really, really nice article in this month's one, which actually came out today. It arrived through my letterbox tonight, or today, this afternoon, and it's John Studley. It's all about Pac-Man. Definitely have a look at that. Don't know if anyone else actually buys a magazine. I think the quality of the paper they're using isn't as good. It was always like really shiny paper, but it feels really kind of cheap. But I'm getting kind of bored of the magazine, and the only reason I'm still buying it is because I keep forgetting to cancel it. I can't really be bothered. I mean, I've probably got about 2 years worth of the magazine unopened. It was a great read, but I don't know. I just find that the articles lack any spirit or passion or enthusiasm. I mean, I'm not knocking the individual writers, but here's the thing, I've been into this scene probably longer than 99% of people. I've been into like the whole, buying systems since about 1998, and I've been on the forums since then. So I know a lot of people, programmers, video game players, loads of it's actually quite a small kind of hobby, but it's grown so much now. And out of all the talented people that I know, that I've met through the years, I mean, I know guys like Gary Liddon, and who wrote for Zap 64, Gary Penn, Dave Perry, but loads of other people that have been involved. My mate Paul Moz, Andy Roberts, who works for Thalamus, tons and tons of people that I know, and yet there's not one person that I know that's involved with Retro Gamer magazine. All these people are just faceless people to me, and I've got to say, I find their writing very, very dull. there's tons of really talented people out there, you know, who have got YouTube channels. People like myself who've got a good knowledge and interest. I'm not saying I would make a good writer, you know, but there's a massive amount of talent out there, and yet they've picked people who I just think are quite dull, and that's why I can't be bothered with the magazine anymore. But yeah, to get back to your question, but I love reading a physical magazine. There's just something about holding a magazine. It's easier than holding a tablet. I do a lot of reading in the bath, and I would never, I mean, as much as I do take my phone in the bath, I would never take an iPad. That would be daft. Also, what do you think is the best looking book about gaming? I've got quite a few. I mean, I've got all the Chris Wilkins books, all the, is it the Fusion books, the History of US Gold, there's the Ocean one, there's the Pixels, Spectrum Pixels, see the Commodore 64 Pixels. I've not actually read any of these ones yet. I think the best ever video games book is the book that has never been released, and it's They Were Our Gaming Gods by Paul Moz. I can't say because I've never actually read it, because Paul's never released it. He keeps promising me every Christmas that I'm going to get it in my stocking, and he never has. But no, joking aside, there's been a few books that I've read. There was one book, I can't remember for the life of me what it was called, and it was a very thin book, and it was basically this guy was recounting his memories of owning a Spectrum, and the way he wrote it from the heart. He wasn't a writer per se. I don't think he was a professional writer, but it just resonated with me, and I still think that the best computer book has yet to be written. I don't think there's been one done. I mean, I used to I used to write for Way of the Rodent, which was an online magazine. I mean, back in the day, back 10 years ago, it was massive. We were pulling in massive viewers. And the great thing about it was an opportunity for people like me who couldn't write to save themselves. It gave me a platform to write articles. And some of the articles that the guys were putting out were just brilliant. You know, you really felt like you were living it with them, because you could relate to what they were saying. So I don't think there's really been a good computer book written so far. If there is, I've not read it. I mean, I've not read many Chris's books yet. The one by Ocean, I find again is very matter of fact and factual based. There's not a lot of passion or anything that comes from it. So yeah, I do think. Oh, there's my phone ringing. This is vibrating. I'll get that in a minute. I've not read one that I would really recommend, but that one about the Spectrum, I can't remember. Was it Memoirs of a Spectrum Addict, something like that? I can't remember what it was called. Or am I getting muddled up with that film? But yeah, interesting question, and thanks again. But Lacosa Ultimate Retro Machine, Commodore 128D with the keyboard of the Computer Lynx. Is that used the same mechanical keyboard as the BBC Master? Yeah, we were talking about that when the me and my son chums talk pish. Now I meant to say, last waffle, apparently I left a bit that I forgot to edit, and I'm really bad at that, because I'll start recording and then I'll stop and I'll think, right, I'll need to do it again. And 9 times out of 10 I'll edit it out, but I must have forgot to edit it out. But I did try to find it, I don't know what bit. So what bit did I miss out? There's something niggling. I was talking about something, and then I kind of went like that. No, I'll need to start again. But yeah, that comes with old age, I'm afraid. Panther great waffle, mate. I am yet to be bored in lockdown. I don't enjoy the fact that people are dying, obviously, but I am enjoying the time to get stuff done, and I agree that it's not too soon. I agree it is too soon to ease off with the figures currently. Also, for the high score kerfuffle, it very much depends on the game, and if I remember, I did the latest at the time of writing on my meme cab, so that was fun. My ultimate retro machine has the keyboard of the C64, the sound of the C64, the graphics of the C64 and the game library of the C64. There's a pattern forming there. Anyway, for the next waffle, if, and let's hope they don't, your systems started breaking down, would you try to repair them or move solely to emulation? If it was something that I thought I could, then I would give it a go, but I'm completely stupid when it comes to things like that, so I would give it a go. If it was a machine that I really wanted fixed, then I would probably look to get somebody to do it. But if it wasn't, then I would probably sell it for parts and go down the emulation route, because I do realise that at some point all my machines are going to stop working. So no, if it was a C64 and Amiga Vectrex, I would get them repaired, but anything else I would probably just go for emulation. I mean, I've got my Spectrum next for my Spectrum games. Yeah, I think that's pretty much what I would do. So anyway, Panther, thank you very much. Milthy Swinbuckle, hello again, Main Meister. I believe this is a big one, said the vicar to the nun. Question for next waffle. After watching the last video you made with yourself, Panther and Lucosa, you picked your favourite Sid tune. It got me thinking about which music best fits a game, and that's basically my question. The reason I ask is that I believe you made two music choices that fit that question. Two great tunes, but one being an amazing fit, and the other one not so good, well, in my opinion anyway. The bad fit being the music to Yer Kung Fu. Unarguably a great tune, but for me not quite right for the game. The good choice, however, is possibly the best musical fit to a game that has ever been done, that being the music for Way of the Exploding Fist. Absolutely amazing tune that's as much part of the game as the gameplay itself. Anyway, what other pieces of music do you think fit perfectly into the game, or what pieces in your opinion feel out of place even if the tune itself is a good one? The theme tune to Thrust, I would say, is an amazing tune, but I wouldn't say it really has anything to do with the game. Whizball is, I mean, that's an awesome bit of music. The music to Chariots of Fire, this is the odd thing. Lucosa thought that Chariots of Fire was completely out of place for Hypersports, because the piece is a classical piece and it was on an arcade game. Whereas I kind of disagree, because it's Chariots of Fire and to me it's athletics running, so it kind of feels the same. But to kind of get back on track, I think the music for both Way of the Exploding Fists is absolutely perfect. The second game is not that great, but the music is just perfect. It really suits the game. Hybris on the Amiga, stonking soundtrack, really makes you want to play it. Commando on the C64, got one of the best Sid tunes ever. I mean, Monty in the Run, the music, I would say, whilst is my favourite Sid tune, it's not particularly suited to the game, but it does make the game a lot more fun to play. Arcade game wise, what else? Master of Magic is another game. It's got a really cracking Rob Hubbard track, and that goes in really well. That ties in pretty well with the game. But I think, yeah, I would say that Way of Exploding Fist is probably about the best. It just sounds so good. It's so oriental sounding. I mean, he's absolutely nailed it. Is it Neil Brennan? I think it is. It done it. Absolutely nailed it. I mean, Super Pipeline 2, the music is just awesome, and that game would be nowhere near as fun to play if it wasn't for the music. Castle of Terror is a text adventure by Melbourne House, and the music on that is just fantastic, and it's based around Dracula, and it absolutely nails it. It could easily get taken and used in a horror film. It's just so good. And ones that feel out of place, like I said, yeah, there's been a few. Well, Lucosa thinks that Chariots of Fire is out of place on the Hypersports. There's a lot of games that have got amazing tracks, title tracks, but the music doesn't really suit the game as such. Yeah, anyway, great question, Milthy, thank you. And my mate Adam Sirlan's helicopter games. Yeah, somebody asked me about my favourite helicopter game. I think it was Down the Rabbit Hole. Battle Valley, Desert Strike on the Amiga, Choplifter on the C64. How did I not remember Choplifter? Keep up with the videos, Alan. Might even be tempted to join you on one when my damn webcam turns up. Again, Adam, if you want to join me in a video, just you let me know. It'd be a pleasure to have you guys on the channel. Not all at once, obviously. I mean, we could technically do a Zoom call, but I think probably do one at a time. That would be good fun. And the last one is Fred Blogs. Regarding the lockdown, yeah, a lot of people are now bored and had enough. Sadly, that's not a viable excuse. I mean, we had another 623 deaths yesterday. It's too early to start ending this. I totally sympathise with small businessmen and the like, but at the end of the day, businesses and jobs can be started again. Lives cannot. Yes, it's annoying. Yes, it's boring, but it's got to be done. Otherwise, we'll get another spike of deaths and be locked down again. Yeah, you know what, Fred, that's what I kind of tried to say at the beginning. I couldn't agree with you more. So anyway, guys, this waffle has kind of dragged on a wee bit. You know, if you've stuck with it to the very end, thank you very much. Just want to finish saying again, thanks as always to everybody that supports my channel, that watches my live streams, that comments, that takes part in the live streams. You know, without you guys, I wouldn't. This thing that I do wouldn't be anywhere near as fun. I'm really proud, and you know, I'm so lucky that I've got a great bunch that actually watch the channel. So anyway, guys, listen, I hope you all have a fantastic weekend. Remember, I will be along on Sunday night for a live stream. But finally, guys, thank you very much for watching.